Sometimes it's hard to find the proper words to describe Tokusatsu. The literal translation means special effects, but fans of this genre know it to be so much more than that, while also having a very specific set of charms and telltale tropes that give the genre its identity. Transforming heroes, monsters of the week, whether they be large or small or both, explosive fights, and cheese. Heart attack-inducing levels of cheese. The amount of cheese that makes the lactose intolerant wet their beds at night. But Tokusatsu fans have so much more than just live-action TV shows to whet their appetite. We've got card games, anime, and thankfully, video games. Now, if you're looking for a bona fide Ultraman or Kamen Rider video game, Godzilla wins by doing absolutely nothing. Also, why the fuck is this still $300? But never fear, my friends. On this All Hallows Eve, there's no tricks here, only treats. For I have collected a menagerie of what I feel to be the most Toku of Toku video games that are on the market or just above the horizon. All for your playing pleasure right now. In a similar vein to my last indie game video, link in the description, this won't be a full-on bona fide review of these games, but just a taste of what these games have to offer so that you can make the best call on which of these games is truly the best for you. These are just quick recommendations of games that I personally have been enjoying to get that quick Toku fix outside of just TV shows or movies. Trust me, after my last video, I needed to write a script that was less than 30 pages long. I'm doing this to myself at this point. My name is All Night, and these are the Tokusatsu games that you can play right now. Am I more than you bargained for yet? I've been dying to tell you everything about my new hyperfixation this week. Digimon is finally back in the public eye, what with the new anime out and of course, Time Stranger. You know a game is good when the demo sells you on it instantly and you just jump on the purchase because holy hell, this is a good one, guys. Do yourself a favor and snag this one up quickly. In its own weird way, I feel like the Venn diagram of Digimon fans to Tokusatsu fans is mostly a circle, but you can check me if I'm off target there. But the idea of collecting monsters in multiple forms of said monsters only growing in power as the plot unfolds feels right up the aisle of Tokusatsu if you just squint a little bit. I mean, Gotchard did it, right? I haven't seen Gotchard yet. Are there any Gotchard stands in the comment section? Please let me know. Point being, while not explicitly the henshin hero action game of our dreams, Time Stranger has the presentation, charm, and all the cheese that we love out of our Toku. That and the MC's outfit is basically just Ichigo. Like that's just Ichigo right there. Bandai Namco! Add a Kamen Rider helmet DLC! And my life is yours! Also, Justamon.
What are you supposed to be?
I'm Scottish! Great, we're 2 games in already and there's already a cop-out. Nah. But for real, I would like to take a brief portion of today's episode to clarify what I said in my Gozyuger video. Link in the description. I love Power Rangers. Always have, always will. I just think that their MMPR-shaped heads have been shoved so far up their asses for the past 5 years that they have forgotten that different seasons, different Zords, and different suits are the reason what made PR interesting in the first place. That aside, we do actually have a handful of Power Ranger games on the market nowadays. From Digital Eclipse, we have Rita's Rewind. This is a retelling of the Once and Always plot where Robo-Rita from the future goes back in time and screws with the plot of the original MMPR, basically turning it into an abridged version of the first 2 seasons. What could be just a simple retelling of MMPR turns into a fairly enjoyable retro beat-em-up. And I might be biased here, or Streets of Rage 4 has just set the standards for beat-em-ups way too high for me, but this is a bit of a simple beat-em-up as compared to its peers, so just a heads up. The developers did make a bunch of good quality of life updates with this game, such as increasing its game speed, adding RPG stat elements to different rangers, and so on. So the version of the game that we have now is absolutely the best one since it first came out. That, and I think that they did a pretty damn good job of incorporating Zords and Megazord sequences. Ordinarily, I would have preferred just more beat-em-up style stuff with the Zords, but these little shootouts and punch-out style boxing sequences had me smiling something stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Rita's Rewind is a fantastic co-op offering if you want something more traditional, but if you're looking for something a little bit more against the grain, we've got Battle for the Grid. I know, I get it. Fighting games can be a divisive genre depending on who you ask. But Enway, the developers of the friggin' mobile game of all things, really have a hidden gem with this one. Not only is it a Power Rangers game that acknowledges seasons beyond Mighty Morphin, but it's also a fighting game with a simple special input system. Basically, special moves don't require you to memorize 3 pages of inputs to pull off here. Instead, it's got Smash Brothers logic, where you have a special button, and depending on the direction that you choose, you get different specials. Couple that with the Marvel vs. Capcom style tag mechanics, a healthy roster of characters, and a story inspired by the Boom comics, and you've got, honestly, my favorite fighting game of the past 5 years. I don't play that many, okay?
Team, unite up!
Here we go. That's more like it. Until Beautiful Joe is released from IP jail, Wonderful 101 is the best modern slice of Hideki Kamiya that embraces the Toku genre wholesale. While Platinum Games was in their heyday, Kamiya had a trilogy of games in mind that would echo the tropes and styles of the big 3 of Toku. Beautiful Joe was Kamen Rider. Project GG was Ultraman. Also, anyone know what happened to Project GG, by the way? I'm too scared to ask Kamiya on Twitter in fear of getting blocked. Please send help! And Wonderful 101 was Super Sentai. If you need one game on this list today that is a plain and simple henshin hero action game, this is the one. This will be your best offering by miles and miles. It's got all of the Kamiya-isms and the hallmarks of most Platinum games. 2 attack buttons, air combos, a dodge that if it's timed right will slow down time, alternate weapons, and characters galore. And it wouldn't be a Sentai game if you didn't have multiple playable characters. And holy schmoly, guacamole, this game's got like 100 of those. The gimmick of Wonderful 101 is that you command 100 characters at a time. People will liken this to Pikmin, but realistically you're controlling an emulsive blob of Sentai characters as opposed to a true army. The only Pikmin parallel that I can draw here is the mechanic where sometimes your Wonderful 101s can hop onto a bad guy's back and do some residual damage, but that's about it. Otherwise, while you're technically controlling 100 characters, the main character / leader is the one who's doing all the heavy lifting. Because the game had its roots in the Wii U, you still have this oddball drawing mechanic to switch between leading members of your party, though even on PlayStation, the mechanic isn't egregious or horribly difficult to grasp. Simply just draw the shape of the weapon that you want to switch to with the right stick, and bam, you're now Wonder Blue or Wonder White, and so on. The game is as cheesy as it gets, has larger-than-life bosses and scripted segments that are the creme de la creme of what Platinum loves to do with their action games. Couple that with the large offering of guest characters and alternate characters that are far closer to Kamen Rider and Sentai parallels, and you have what is absolutely the most Toku of Toku games that you will find on today's list so far.
The guy from Fortnite!
Come on, I haven't even said anything yet! This will absolutely be my biggest hear me out since Wolvermon. Sure, a couple years back, it was cool to hate on Fortnite, because it was just the popular thing, right? And think what you will about the game right now, but holistically, in terms of its gameplay loop, Fortnite is one of, if not the best shooters on the market nowadays. And in its own weird way, occupies a strange place in the sandbox shooter genre, right alongside Halo. In the past few seasons alone, we have had Godzilla, Mortal Kombat, Samurai, Ninjas, Crime Lords, Bank Heists, Superman, and the most recent season is a bug invasion, with our baby boy, Tommy Oliver, heading the tier 100 spot of our latest battle pass. That, and when this season first dropped, we got that sick trailer that was ripped straight out of the 90s and 2000s with that classic MMPR fight choreography and monster fighting. And it just made me so goddamn giddy. Look at all that whimsy, damn it! If nothing else, any IP that Epic Games touches, they snort 7 lines of
happy white powder
and treat it with so much love and adoration. Unless you're Sonic the Hedgehog. Fuck that guy. Here's some shoes and a car. Honk, honk. All 5 Rangers were in the item shop alongside Lord Zed, and I'll be damned if they didn't show some goddamn love to Mighty Morphin Man. Ridiculous dance references to the first season, amazing emotes, perfect recreations of the suits. Tommy's cosmetics also have great references to both seasons 1 and 2 of Mighty Morphin. Just fantastic stuff all around. And now that Fortnite has this new thing where after a set amount of time, Battle Pass items will find their way to the item shop at some point, so even if you didn't catch this season, you will eventually be able to buy all the Rangers plus Tommy when they make it to the item shop again in the foreseeable future. If you're watching this video in December, I've got some bad news bears. And the bears are hungry. Why aren't you running? Now, Fortnite's gameplay loop may vary depending on the season that you hop in, and the true ridiculous stuff, like any anime collab power-ups, may come close to what you may be looking for in a Toku game. So, realistically, I'd suggest waiting for a season with items that interest you the most. I mean, damn, melee weapons and overpowered superpowers happen so regularly that I'm sure you will find a season that works for you at some point. Not to sugarcoat it, but I drove the Megazord as Hatsune Miku, and now I think I can die a happy man. Obviously, you'll want to wait until the Rangers are back in the shop, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that Fortnite's repertoire of original skins in the item shop do sometimes border on some really nice Toku-esque designs, so even if it's not the Rangers, I'm sure you'll find a skin or season that's right for you to scratch that Toku itch.
Let's rev it up, baby!
Okay, so this game will be the only outlier to today's games that you can play right now, but I don't know when else I'll get to talk about this game, so shut up, sit down, and like and subscribe! Kinjitsu Rider is an upcoming hack-and-slash game made by Omega Mech Animations that is seeking to scratch that itch that I think all Toku fans are asking for. A stylized character action game starring a henshin hero. And that's about all I can say about it right now, because it's not out yet, of course. Duh. You know, the main guy's got a really cool hat. Nah, but seriously. Thankfully, while writing this video, the developers actually did share quite a bit more gameplay, and honestly, it's got everything I could possibly want and more. A cool-looking henshin hero protagonist, friggin' motorcycles in his combos. That in the game has this drop-dead gorgeous stylized aesthetic that harkens back to when cell shading was all the rage in the late 2000s. It kinda oddly reminds me of Mad World, if anyone else remembers that game. Does anyone remember that game, or was that also just a fever dream? Also, on the topic of the main character here, I gotta say, how in the hell have we not had a Western-inspired cowboy Kamen Rider yet? Because this goes hard, and I'm even hard. Kinjitsu Rider is absolutely on my radar, and I have full intentions of covering that game in full when it comes out. So, you know, you should consider doing the thing that if you'd like to hear me talk about this thing, you could hear me talk about it some more. Just saying.
Are you about to do a magical girl transformation? Oh.
Now this is the big daddy that I have been dying to talk about. Starlight Revolver is an action roguelike game developed by Pado Labs. The premise of this game could not be any simpler. You looking with your eyeballs? Well, put them on, goddammit, what are you doing? This game is so stuffed with 90s anime and Sailor Moon aesthetics that it's coming out of its own goddamn ears. There's a lot to talk about with this game, so I'm unsure if I'm ever going to do a dedicated video about it. Maybe comment down below and let me know. I'll consider it. But the main gist is that you're one of 4 main characters who are known as divers. and your characters gain the power to transform whenever they dive into the underworld known as Somi. These divers are the ones who can scour Somi for resources and search this mysterious world for answers to their respective backstories. The game's overworld in Nim is also where you can meet up with other players and partake in some side activities. It's got this pseudo MMO feel. I kinda dig it. Your main character selections are Effie, the clearest Sailor Moon parallel here, and goddammit, what is it about pink girls and hammers? It was bad enough we had 2 of them, now we got 3 of them! And then we have Kira.
Swear I don't bite unless you beg, baby. Can you come over? I just want your body in my bed, baby. Can you get closer?
Kira is not only best girl, but is also the Satsuki parallel of the game. More of a ranged combatant as compared to Effie. Then you've got the main reason why I bought the game in the first place, my main man, Ren Amagi. The developers basically spelled it out for us in that this guy is 1000% inspired by Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. And his diver form is oozing with both of their unique, colorful pastel aesthetics, as well as traditional Toku design philosophies. He's more of a well-rounded type of character, but he also leans somewhat into a tanky playstyle, which, well, yeah, I think I might like Ren. And then there's Vivi, which... Now, enough setup here. Just what the hell does the game play like? Well, to be honest, the gameplay loop is going to be very familiar if you are familiar with the roguelite genre, which is both a good thing and could be seen as a negative depending on who you are. Again, if you've played roguelites, you've played this one. You load up, go down to Somi, you have no abilities to start, minus your basic attack. You start killing more and more enemies that get stronger and stronger over time. You yourself, of course, also get stronger over time, with more abilities, ultimate abilities, passive abilities, etc., etc. Which then allows you to do more and get farther and farther in your runs. Run, die, get stronger, rinse, repeat. Roguelites are my favorite genre for this very reason of their replayability. I like a little bit of danger, a little bit of chaos in my fun times.
Goes for the skull!
Even if it means I get a little dicked down by the RNG god sometimes, I also get some runs where I get to dick down the RNG gods. So it balances out. What I really want to give this game credit for in terms of its base design is that the abilities your character starts with aren't just 4 basic abilities. Think like League of Legends, right? You have 3 abilities, a passive, and an ultimate. In this game, it lets you choose what those abilities are from like 10 plus abilities as you continue on your run. They could be your standard abilities. They could be epic or legendary abilities that are usually your ultimates. But you only get to choose a total of 4 per run, so how your Ren plays in one run could be widely different from how my Ren plays in my run. Ren, run. Ren, run. Ren, run! Ren, run! There's gonna be like 5 of you that get that, I'm sorry. This gives each character a degree of both focus with their playstyle and also a wide range of customization that really lets you pick how you want to play your specific character. This is the game's greatest strength at the moment, though its biggest hurdle is that it's absolutely still an early access game. You can tell that by the price tag. There is a darn good chunk of content in there if you're thirsty for this gameplay loop, but it's not quite fully baked yet. Cosmetics are limited, biomes are limited, but this is stuff that the developer has been very open about and are 100% going to be adding over time, so I'm immensely seated to see where this all takes off to. I'll be honest, I was sold on the aesthetic alone, so if that doesn't sell to you just how fun and interesting this specific art style can be when you put it in just the right game, I don't know what will. Again, just remember, with it being early access, your mileage may vary depending on your computer, as this game is only on Steam right now. Excuse me, Mr. Developers, just saying, day 1, buy on Switch 2. If you can make it happen, wink wink, nudge nudge, like and subscribe. But honestly, as long as this game is given the time that it needs to cook with a solid enough fan base, I can see this being a really fun little slice of the roguelite genre that both Sailor Moon fans and Toku fans can get a big kick out of. And yes, the Venn diagram of Toku fans and Sailor Moon fans is also a circle. We are everywhere. Toku is everywhere. you can't escape us. We are Legion.
Hey Virgil, do you really have to bring the plastic chair? Yes, I do need to keep the plastic chair, Dante. It comforts me. Well, you're gonna have to fucking sell it to pay for the child support, Virgil.
Okay. This could be a cop-out or a galaxy-brained idea, depending on how you slice it, but please hear me out. Modding is not a new concept, and has been a thing since the dawn of time. But nowadays, with PC gaming becoming far more accessible, and more developers being far more keen to the concept and opening up the floodgates of modding for even console games nowadays, the idea of modding your favorite games to add just the slightest bit of Toku flair is something I didn't put too much stock into until I actually started writing this video. Because there's a surprising amount of Toku mods out there for some of my favorite games. I mean, just peep the Kamen Rider 01 mod I have here in Pal World, and hey, look at me, keep your eyes off her, look at me! Or, obviously, most famously, the Devil May Cry series even has its own fair share of Kamen Rider mods. Or, maybe you could be a fighting game fan and splash in Tommy and Jason into Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't blame you, that game is gas. When it comes to modding, the possibilities are quite honestly limitless. And I think that's a really neat way of capping off this video for today. There is a clear market for folks like yourself that just want to play as their favorite henshin heroes, large or small. And now that we've got Toku making a harder push for international audiences nowadays, I think the market may finally be ready for proper games in this genre. We thankfully have plenty of games that are readily available right now that can satisfy a variety of tastes. But I think we can all agree that a dose of the real deal would be exactly what we're all looking for. Whether it's Kamen Rider, Ultraman, or Sentai/Power Rangers. I want to thank you all for giving me even just a moment of your time today, for me to share more games that I love with you. As always, don't forget to the like button and show the algorithm some of that love. And maybe subscribe if you'd like for me to cover any of these games that I talked about today in greater detail. For that, comment down below and let me know which one was your favorite today, and maybe we can dedicate a whole video to it. Or if there was anything I missed, comment below and give some suggestions to some would-be Toku passerbyers in the comment section. Show some love down there, damn it! My hopes are that with more Toku games, maybe more developers will wise up to the concept, and maybe start including the big three in more projects in the future. Any bets on who could possibly pull the trigger first on the next commercially available game in the West? My money's on Ultraman Wait, what was that?